I chose to do this with you because I want to take you inside the process of my new book. So let's just begin. I have a set of questions that I kind of gathered together that I want to go over that's going to touch a lot of things I have not talked about. So the first question that actually I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, half of the questions I'm going to be asking is number one, what inspired this book? This book was actually born out of a season where God was revealing a lot of things I did not want to face. I wasn't broken. I wasn't heartbroken. I was just tired. I was exhausted. I was tired of feeling almost loved, half chosen, or just tired of caring wasn't even mine to begin with. That can play in a lot of things, whether that's a person, situations in your life that you're just going through. This book just ended up becoming my release. But in reality, this was just a reminder that peace is not a negotiation. It's a promise. The second question is, what is the message behind the title, Don't Keep Me Close, Just in Case? Okay, so the title is literally a declaration because it's saying, don't keep me close just because you're afraid, someone else is going to love me right, or don't keep me near or around you just because you feel you're too scared to lose me, or don't choose me halfway because you can't choose me fully. It's a boundary, and this is something that I actually had to grow into, but it was also a truth that I had to walk out of. Question number 3 is, many people stay in almost love. Why do you think that is? I really like this question because I believe we stay because we believe that potential is more reliable than reality. And sometimes we stay because hope feels holy. We stay because we don't want to lose the story we imagine. But God taught me that attachment is not alignment, and that closeness is not commitment. Confusion is not confirmation. Question number 4, how did your faith shape this entire writing journey? Every single poem in this book came from a revelation that I had from our Creator, God, and the relationship that I continue to pour into with Him, because it was always a whisper, or it was always in a prayer, or it was most of the time revealed in silence. Even though I also got a lot of it shown through the tears, it really did also rescue me from patterns that I was always getting broken. But most importantly, God reminded me that love aligned with Him will never, ever make me abandon myself. And question number 5 is, you often mention your son as part of your inspiration. How did he impact this book? Okay, now I wrote my first self-published poetry book before I had my son, and then I wrote my second one, which is dedicated to him after I had him. And so now with this book, my son is one of the main and the greatest reminders that healing is generational, because what I accept will become his example, or what I settle for is what he's gonna see that is the standard. And what breaks me breaks what I'm supposed to be building for him, showing him who I'm supposed to be, that God needs me to be for my son. If I just keep accepting the bare minimum, that's what my son's gonna think is okay, that he'll start doing that. And so I really started to see long term, and I know that's it's a lot easier said than done. That's what showed boundaries sacred. Alignment is very, very necessary. And question number 6 is, who is this book written for? Who is this book written for? Now, as it says, poems for the ones who stayed too long, loved too hard, and finally chose peace. So this is plain and simple for who this book is written for. But this book is not only for those who did choose peace. This book is a hand on your back saying, you're not crazy for wanting clarity. You're not dramatic for desiring commitment. And that you are worthy for love that does stay. Question number 7 says, what do you hope readers feel when they turn the last page? I'm going to make it very, very simple. But I hope that the reader and you, if you read it, feels lighter, feels valued, feels seen, more aligned and more confident to let go what is no longer or doesn't choose you. But most of all, I hope and pray that they feel Yah God's tenderness in places and in areas where it hurt the most. And question number 8. Question number 8 is, what was the hardest part of writing this book? The hardest part about writing this book is being honest. But not just with readers or what I was writing, but with myself. There were poems that I didn't want to write because they made me face how long I stayed, how deeply I loved, and how gently Yah God was nudging me to just release it. But honesty is where healing begins. And number 9, last question, is what is next for you as an author? So, I mean, of course, just more writing, right? More writing, more teaching, more speaking, more of letting Yah God using my story so other people can heal as well. It's about revealing, it's about obedience, and it's about stepping into a place that Yah God has prepared for me. So if this book finds its way into your hands, I pray that it gives you clarity, but most importantly, courage, confidence to choose yourself, but choosing yourself the way Yah God intended for you in the beginning. Thank you so much for listening and just any support that you can show for the release of my book. Don't keep me close, just in case. And you can order your copy on Amazon, and I pray you guys can share this with others and just continuing on what Yah God and Holy Spirit is always telling you to do. Shalom.